Welcome to my channel, and I'm back with you once again with another video of X-Plane 12. It's been, I think, 3 or 4 days I have purchased and installed the X-Plane 12, and honestly speaking, I'm just really enjoying and trying to get the feel of the X-Plane 12. I've downloaded the Zibo Mod 737-800 yesterday. I've done a video how to download and install this plane. If you're new to the flight simulation and new to X-Plane, you can just follow that video and you can see how to download that plane and install it for the X-Plane 12, although it's also available for the X-Plane 11. So this video is going to be a review from my side on X-Plane 12 and the Zibo Mod 737-800. Why I'm doing this review? Because lately I've been reading some reviews on the social media in which people are not really happy with the graphics. I don't know why. Because obviously X-Plane 11 and Microsoft Flight Simulator are two different simulators. And 3-4 years back, when I was looking for a good flight simulator, X-Plane 11 was the best option available in the market. And plus, there are so many planes available. I've purchased the Flight Factor Airbus A350, Airbus A320, and the Ultimate version, and plus Zibo Mod and the Boeing 737-800 by Threshold. So I've been flying those planes in X-Plane 11, and I've really enjoyed those flights. Although I was not really happy with the refresh rate of X-Plane 11, but in X-Plane 12, I find the graphics to be very smooth. So I'm going to do a flight today from Lahore to Islamabad, and weather I'm going to use the actual weather so that I can also see whether the weather radar is working or not, and for the time, I will track the real world time. It's right now 3:36 in the afternoon, and I think during the flight it will be daytime. I was thinking of doing a flight in which we can see the dusk, and anyhow, in this video we'll just fly in the morning light. Some scattered clouds, little clouds in Islamabad, but it's just like a review. Because I'm doing this video because yesterday when I downloaded the Zibo Mod 737-800 and I did a flight from Lahore to Islamabad, I was really delighted. I really enjoyed that flight. Okay, so I will start the flight from the Lahore airport, which is Islamabad International Airport. Let's go to OPLA, and I will not start the flight from the gate because there is some issue with the pushback right currently with the X-Plane 12. So I will just start it from over here at the parking, and that's it. And let's customize this plane. I'm using no livery for this flight, and plus I have not checked this option, start the engine, start with engines running, because I want to start the plane from the cold and dark state, and just to explore all the features over here. Weight, balance and fuel, no need to adjust right now because I will do it from the electronic flight bag, which is the tab available in the Zibo Mod 737-800. So let's go and start this flight, and let's review this flight simulator and plus this plane. So here I am at Islamabad International Airport in Lahore, and this flight is going to be a short flight for I think 40 to 50 minutes. So this is the plane. And I'm honestly speaking, the frame rate is really good. You can see there is no stuttering, and this is the thing I'm just really loving about X-Plane 12, because in X-Plane 11 I used to have reduced frame rate. Let's go to the graphics, and let's show in the cockpit, and let's see the frame rate. You can see right now it's 36, 38. I was getting like round about 55 to 60 frame rate in the night, but in the morning the refresh rate is a bit low, because I think it's because of the clouds, and you can see a little bit of trailing but in the graphics, but still it's smooth. There is no stuttering. I hate the stuttering thing when the graphics really give you a jerky impression. Okay, so this is the Zibo Mod 737-800. You can see it's equipped with the electronic flight bag, and it's there. Let's go out of the plane and have a look at the plane. That's a nice, wonderful plane. I'm not using any liveries, but it comes with some default liveries. You can use them. and you can see the scenery is also updated, because once you download the Explain 12, you have to download all the sceneries. I've downloaded the complete scenery. It took me like 7 to 8 hours depending upon the internet speed. I have a good speed, but not really good, so it took 7 to 8 hours to download this scenery. Okay, so let's turn on the batteries, and you can see the ground power is not available because we have to connect the GPU from the tab. So let's go to the ground services and connect the GPU. Okay, so now once the GPU is connected, you will see the ground power is now available. I can turn the ground power on. With this, I can turn on the lights for the circuit breakers as well. Okay, so the lights are on, and plus you can turn on the lights. So most of the features in this plane you can interact with, and there is no issue. And plus you can see the graphics are really good, and the crispness is there. And what else? Okay, now there are a few settings that we have to do over here. It's not a tutorial, I'm just doing a review. But the best thing in the Zibo Mod 737 is this, that you can actually turn on the heads up display. If I turn on the heads up display over here, you can see the display is there. There is this purplish glare coming. It's very high. I think it should be reduced a bit, but it's good. You can do some compromise on that. Because as you know, this is an early access for the Explain 12, so there are many things which will be tweaked in the future. As you know, for the Microsoft Flight Simulator, even in the beginning, there were many things that were not working. Especially there were problems with the Boeing 787, and plus there were many things that were going on with the Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you go to my channel, you can see all the issues that were there in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. But now, with a period of time, most of them have been cleared. And plus now we have Phoenix Airbus A320, which is a study level plane, and plus PMDG 737-800, which we can fly. And plus from fly-by-wire, Airbus A320 Neo is there, and we are all waiting for the Airbus A320. So coming back to Explain 12, so this is the initial setting that we had to do. And one more thing, in the Zibo, you have to actually set the nose wheel to yaw, because then you can see the tiller is moving over here. If I set to roll, you can see now the tiller is not moving in the VR. Okay, so tiller doesn't move. This is, you don't move the plane with the rudders, because if you are new to the flight simulator, you're used to moving the plane left or right during the taxi using the rudders. But the tiller is used, so you have to set it to yaw. Then you can see the tiller is working. So now if you taxi, the taxi will be smooth. And plus display, and I'm actually looking for one thing, visual effects. You can see windshield effects. Okay, let's not touch those settings. No, there's one setting I'm actually looking for, and yesterday I just found it. Yes, in the general configuration, you will see pounds and kgs. So I will use kgs as units because I'm comfortable with kgs. But you can change it to kgs and pounds. So this is what you can do. Okay, now caution is disengaged, and we've got the lightings and everything. Okay, now one more thing that we have to do is emergency lights. So I'm just going to show you all the features that are actually working in the Zibo mode. It's a review, so I hope you will be able to what you can say, identify the things that you are actually looking for in a plane in Explain 12, and then you can download the Zibo mod, and then you can go with it. As you can see, I'm the overhead panel. The frame rate has actually gone up to 50 frames, so I'm getting some good frame rate. But as the clouds are there, because clouds, when it's cloudy, the frame rate drops. So in the night you get some good frame rate, as I told you before. Okay, so position light is set to steady. It's there. And then now I have to do some fuel management for this flight. I'm actually using SimBrief for the flight planning. So over here, if you just go to the home page, you will see weight balance, and you can adjust the payload. So let's set the passengers to max. It's actually doing it very quickly. So if you go back, payload, and the fuel is 3066, the fuel should be 5600 for this flight. And now the zero fuel weight is 57031. And as per the operational flight plan, the zero fuel weight should be 62732. So we have to find the difference, which is 5701 kgs. So let's come here and let's enter the cargo. For the forward cargo, 3000, not more than 3000, you'll get an error, and 2701. So if you now go back to the page, you will see 62,732, which is as per the operational flight plan. The fuel is there, and moreover, can I call the... Okay, so the refueling has started. Let's see if the fuel truck comes. Yes. So the fuel truck is there. So it's working. It's good. Okay, now what else? Fuel truck is there. Now seat belts. I will turn the switch on once the fueling is done. And let's see if the recirculation fans are active or on. Yes, recirculation fan on. Isolation valve is open. Packs are off. APU is off. Hydraulic pumps are off. That's good. Okay, autopilot is off, and we can do some tests right now. I've shown you in one of my videos that the engine fire test and the warning systems are working good, except I think I tried in one of the videos, I tried the stall test. Now it's working. Okay, it's working. I think you have to press it properly, and plus if you turn it on, yes, it works. And for the cargo, let's see. Yeah, so everything is working, and let's see if the lights work. So all the lights are on. So it's good that in this plane, as I told you before, all the features are working, and it's a very nice steady level plane, and I've done one flight and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so now iris set to nav. Let's go over here and set it to nav. It will take 7 to 8 minutes, and you can change these settings over here in the configuration. Let me just find it. I always forget where to find these settings. So if you go here and realism, yes, align time real, refueling time it's real. You can change it to long or short, and that's it. And plus there's so many other settings that you can interact with over here. Okay, now we have to set the flight management computer, which interacts with the flight management system, the flight management computer, or the FMC. Okay, now coming to the FMC, and the nav data is out of date. The ARAC cycle is still December 29th, 2021. I am also going to update it with the Navigraph subscription I have, and I will also do a video, but right now it's for December 2021. So almost the database is updated and nothing is missing, so it's good. Okay, now let's go to position initialization, and the reference airport is OPLA, and the gate is anyhow, it's not really important. I think it was 15.
Ground flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
So now the fueling is done. I can turn on the seatbelt signs, as you can see, set to auto, and that's it. Okay, now let's see if we get the GPS. Yes, alignment is there. You can set it, and for the route, OPLA, and the destination is OPIS. Flight number. I just use my initials for the flight number, and the runway is 36 right. Activate, execute, go to the next page. First of all, set the departure, 36 right. The airway is J220, and it will go to Salna, then to SLT. It's a VOR, so I'll select this and index. That's it. Execute, arrival, and OPI's arrival. ILS 28 left, ISDOR, and Indy 1A. So here now you can see all this information is there, and missed approach vectors are coming. Legs, you can see that there is no discontinuity. So this is all good. Okay. Now let's go to performance initialization. If I click at 0 fuel weight, the 0 fuel weight will be picked. Reserves will be 2 tons. And the cost index will be 18. Flight level 250. Okay, the cruising wind, which is which will be acquired from the operational flight plan and the sim brief. So let's go and see what is the wind at the top of climb or the cruising. It's 268.019. 268 degrees 019 knots. Okay, you can ignore the ISA deviation and top of cruise. Okay, N1 limit, I'm going to set it to full. Max, takeoff performance, flaps will be 5. And plus center of gravity, it has already picked up. And the trim is 5.25. Let's see if the trim is set. That's it. And plus... So now you can see that all of the features in the FMC are working. You can set the takeoff performance and everything you can interact with. And plus, I'm not going to touch it, but execute, you have to press execute. Plus you can see the route 2 option is also coming. Route 1 and route 2. Route 2 is actually your secondary flight plan. If you talk about the Airbus and in the Boeing, they call it the route 2. You can have this information. I'm not going to touch this right now. But maybe in the near future I will do a video and I will tell you how to enter the route 2 and then make your flight plan. Okay, now this is all done. Now we have to turn on the fuel pumps. You can see low pressure is coming over here. So fuel pumps are on, and then it's time for the APU. So the temperature I think will stabilize at 5 over here. 500 degrees. Iris alignment is still going on. How much time left? 1 minute to go. You can see 1 is coming. Now it's stable. Okay, so I can start the APU. Oh, sorry, generator is available. We've already started it. Okay, and turn on the APU bleed. That's it. And engine bleed switches are on. And close the doors and disconnect the GPU. I think the doors are disconnected. Ground services doors are available over here. Yes, so all the doors are closed. If you go out, you can see that the doors are closed. Okay, good. So the doors are closed, and if I go back, I can disconnect the GPU. Now the GPU is disconnected, and I have to go to the mode control panel MCP and set few things over here. The V2 is 150 knots, so let's set it over here. Heading is 360 degrees. It's set over here. Altitude, this cruising altitude is 25,000 feet. Okay, I can now turn on the flight directors and arm the auto throttle. Set the barometric pressure. Let's adjust it, bring it over here to this line. (2972). That's it. And what else? Turn on the LNAV and the VNAV. That's it. And what else? Now, generator bus transfer switches. Let us close. Hydraulic pumps on. Anti-collision light is on. And isolation valve, it was already open. You can see it's open. Okay, now for the cabin pressurization, altitude is already set as I've done a flight, so it's 25,000 feet, the cruising altitude, and for the runway elevation of Islamabad International Airport is 1,750. So I've entered it over here, and the pressurization mode is set to auto. Throttle is idle. I've checked it before the flight. And packs, I never turn on the packs, so they are already off. I release the parking brakes, and let's call for the pushback. So the parking brakes are here. So let's try the pushback option over here. Let's see if it works or if it doesn't. Better pushback. So it's you can see it's inactive right now. And if I go here and I show ground handling window, if I request ground services straight, so if I click straight, the pushback cart should come. Is it coming? That's the fueling truck. Because yesterday when I was doing a flight, I waited for the pushback cart for a very long time, and then after I think 3 or 4 minutes, it started to appear from somewhere in the airport, and it started to come. No, cannot see it. So hopefully in the next few updates, this pushback option will come. But honestly speaking, it's not really bothering me much, because as it's mentioned, it's an early access, but you can just start your flight from parking just like the way I've done it, instead of using the terminal. Now as the pushback is not there, so we have to start the engines without the pushback. So let's it's already set to right, and let's set it to ground, and let's wait. Okay. Good. You can see the pushback cart is now coming. As I told you before, it takes some time, but now I've started the engine, so I think I can just ignore it. It can go back. But you can try it and let me know in the comment section that whether the pushback cart really worked for you or not. But because yesterday I was trying, it didn't work for me. And plus I've been reading a lot on the social media pages, especially on the Facebook, that the pushback is not working. Okay, now we can start the engine 1. That's it. What else? Turn on the wing lights and the logo lights. Not really required, but you can do this.
Flight paths, please be seated for departure.
Okay, the cabin is cleared. Have a good flight.
Oh, the pushback worked. Wow. That's good. That's good. It works. So it works. If somebody is saying it's not working, I don't know why, but it worked for me. You have to wait for some time. So it's amazing. But it just a straight. I think I had to press left or right before the pushback. But it's working. It's working. Wonderful. So now the engines are on.
Disconnect. Pushback completed.
Oh, great. Great. So it works. It works. I think in the next few updates, maybe the pushback option from the EFB will also be available in Zibo Mod. That's good. I'm really happy to know this. Engine switches on, APU off, and what else? Am I missing something? We have to set it to continuous, and that's it. And engine generator switches on so that I can turn off the APU. And APU bleed off, and let's turn on the window heats. Yaw damper was also. You can see all the features are working in this plane, and I'm just really enjoying it. Back set to auto, and flaps set to 5. Auto brake set to RTO. And that's it. The cockpit door is open. Oh, it's open. I can close it. Okay, so that's good. So you can see there are no jerks coming in the graphics, and the graphics are really good. They are good. And the texting is good. The frame rate is now 35, which is a good. At least, as I told you before, there are no jerks in the graphics, because I used to experience them a lot in X-Plane 11, and I was not really happy with them. Because obviously, while recording a video, you cannot afford to have jerks like that or stuttering in the graphics. The taxing is also really good. It's easy to control, easy to handle. The only thing that I noticed in this simulator with the Zibo Mod 737-800, when I was trying to activate the approach during the landing, the plane was actually diverting from the flight plan. This is one of the issues that I found out. Let's see if it happens again or not, because then I had to disengage the autopilot and disarm the auto throttle and land the plane all by myself. In the Microsoft Flight Simulator, every time when I'm texting on this taxiway on the left side, there is always water. I'm glad to know this thing that in X-Plane 12 it's not there. I don't know why in the Microsoft Flight Simulator there is always water on the left side over here on this taxiway. What a nice and wonderful plane. And the graphics are smooth. Just a little bit, but as the frame rate is 35, but it's good. I think that with the next few updates, everything will be fixed, because that's the best part about having a beta version, is this that you can just try it, and if there are any issues, they can be fixed before the real version is released. And it's a good thing that it's cloudy. If I turn on the weather, will I be able to see the weather or not? Let's see. Oops, sorry. Oops. Actually gave too much throttle. I'm using Extreme 3D by Logitech, and it's a very old controller that I'm using. I have to upgrade my controller as well. That's why you can see the plane is going left and right. So it's time for an upgrade, I think.
E1, rotate.
Okay, so the call outs are good.
Positive rate.
Actually, I'm switching a lot between Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 11, so the flying physics of X-Plane 11 are obviously different than the Microsoft Flight Simulator. In the Microsoft Flight Simulator, if I pull back too hard, I get a tail strike, and X-Plane 11, if I'm careful, it doesn't happen. So that's why the takeoff, I think after having 4 or 5 more flights with the X-Plane 12, I will be able to overcome this fear. Can I turn on the autopilot? Yes. Let's jump out of the plane and let's have a look at the graphics. And you can see the graphics are really good. Now the frame rate has dropped to 27, but still it's very smooth. There are no jitters or stuttering in the graphics. So you can see the scrolling is really smooth, and the graphics are good. You can see the shade changing at the background. Quality of the clouds is also really good. I'm using the maximum quality for the clouds. Let's go back and let's see if weather is getting displayed. Also, I'll just turn on this option, data, and no, let's stick to okay. Let's check. Set this to standard. That's it. So you can see that it is really good. I don't find anything lacking in X-Plane 12, and honestly speaking, with the Zibo mod, I'm just really enjoying some flights with the X-Plane 12. And the best thing about X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12 is this, that the top of climb, the top of descent comes in all the planes. So no matter what you're flying, either 747, 737, or Airbus A330, you get the top of descent and top of climb. With PMDG 737-800 coming and Phoenix Airbus A320 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, now the top of descent and top of climb also comes in those planes, but in the rest of the planes it's not there. So it's a very good feature. And frame rate is now 42. Some clouds, they're getting picked up, but they're here. But these clouds, they are not coming. I think maybe it will also get fixed up. So the ILS is given 108.10. It's here. And you can see the mist approach is coming. All the information is coming. I can turn it off as well. So I don't think so there's anything to be disappointed about X-Plane 12. It's really good, it's really nice, and hopefully over a period of time when the updates will come and we'll have more planes available. The best thing is this, that the Zibo mod is also available over here. So you can see the graphics, and it's good. It's really good. The quality of the clouds, just look at it. I'll show you my graphic settings. I'm using actually the cloud quality at maximum, shadow quality at maximum, and rendering distance set to maximum, world objects density maximum. I think if I reduce the world object density, then I think I'll get a slightly better frame rate. If I set to high, what happens? Done, because it will load. No, the frame rate is still 36, 37. It's not increasing. Anyhow, I can just try to turn off this. Let's not get so much bogged down with the frame rate and just enjoy the flight and the graphics. Amazing. I'm all enjoying it. Okay, let's go back in the cockpit. What happened to the sound? I think the sound just went away. Oh yes. While switching between the views, the sound is not coming in the cockpit. As I told you before, some little bit of bugs which will be solved over a period of time. As I was reading one of the discussions on Facebook, and somebody was asking about the brightness of the cockpit in the night. So it's not really bright, and it happened because of some update in X-Plane 12, due to which the cockpit is not really bright, but the Zibo team is working on it, and they will try to make it brighter. So maybe in the next update this will be solved. Now the plane is almost near the top of descent, so I will just adjust the altitude. Right now during the flight, you can see, you can hear that the airplane sound has disappeared, but the sound of other features are working, especially the announcements in the cockpit, and plus the interaction with the instruments. You can hear the sounds, and plus when the pitch trim is getting adjusted, you can hear it as well. So I've set the altitude, and let's see if it works. So the clarity in this plane is really good. You can see all the bezels, everything is good, and plus the text is really clear. I've also done a video in which I've compared the Zibo mod with the default Boeing 737-800 which comes in the X-Plane 12, and the difference is clear. Now the top of descent is coming, and you will see the descent would automatically start. So if you have purchased the X-Plane 12, or you're planning to purchase X-Plane 12, don't forget to install the Zibo mod 737-800, because it will obviously enhance your flying experience. And right now let's go out and see what's happening. Scattered clouds, and you can see the shades on the ground. Really nice. There's another plane over here. But the sound has just disappeared from the cockpit. I think maybe it's some issue with my simulator or with the plane. Anyhow, remember not to switch too much between the exterior and the interior view. Just stick to the interior view and nothing will happen. One of the quick workarounds. So will the descent start after the top of descent? The throttle should reduce. And the descent has just started. Throttle is reducing. So this feature is also working good. and you can see it's retard written over here as the throttle is in idle position, and plus VNav speed is coming as the speed is controlled by the VNav vertical navigation. LNav is active following the flight path, so everything is good. I've been flying the PMDG 737-800, and one difference I found in the Zibo Mod and the PMDG 737-800 is the descent management. The descent management in Zibo Mod 737-800 is better than the PMDG 737. Because I've done 1 or 2 flights which are there on my channel, and during the descent it's very difficult to control the speed, and plus if you're taking the flaps, extending the flaps to 5 degrees or to 10 degrees, the descent profile is not followed properly. So this is one of the issues that I've identified. It's a bit difficult to descend, to manage the descent for the PMDG 737-800, but for Zibo, when I was doing a flight, it is a bit easy. There is right now a deviation from the descent profile. As you can see, the plane is at a higher profile, but I think it should be managed. And the vertical speed is 2,300 minus in negative, 2,350 feet per minute. Speed is 271 knots. Some deacceleration points over here, and just before Indy there is also a deacceleration point, but I will extend the flaps at this point in order to control the speed. I will take it to let's say 2 degrees, flap position 2. As now you can see, the plane is following the descent profile, so it's easily managed. And the PMDG 737-800, it just keeps on deviating from the descent profile. So while doing a descent with the Zibo 737-800, I'm really comfortable. So let's pull the weather information for Islamabad, and let's see what's the barometric pressure in Islamabad right now, because I have to now change it from standard to the given barometric pressure. In HPA it's 1007, so let's change the unit to HPA, and let's set to 1007. It's already 1007, so that's good. Visibility is 7,000 meters, which is 7 kilometers, so it's a good visibility. Now we are slightly below the descent profile, but anyhow it's been managed properly, so there is no issue. As I told you before this point, I will try to reduce the speed and see if we can control the speed. The only one thing that's right now messing up in the flight is the approach. When I'm trying to activate the approach phase, as I told you before, the plane actually deviates from the given flight path. Now the ILS frequency is there in the nav area over here, the communication panel. And if I extend the flaps to 2 degrees, let's go out and see what's happening from outside. Let's do it again. Oh, the slats and the flaps are getting retracted. Wonderful. Wonderful. So now the speed will be at 180 knots, I think, if I'm not wrong, 180 or 190 knots, and the plane is following the descent profile, so nothing to be really worried about, because at ISDO the plane should be at 6,000 feet, and plus the speed should be not more than 220 knots. So everything is looking good so far. I will just try to activate the approach phase just right after this last turn, which is the intercept point for the glide slope, and the altitude to catch the glide slope or to intercept the glide slope is 3,700. Yes, slightly above 180 knots. You can also view this information in the heads-up display. As I'm not used to the heads-up display, that's why I keep on looking at the PFD and the ND. And you can see it's so good. You can even adjust the height properly with the help of this heads-up display, because this is one of the things which I'm always looking for, how to adjust the height and your position in the cockpit, so that everything is visible and you can see the runway. So with this heads-up display, you can adjust the height properly. I will set the brakes to maximum. You can see the speed brake is also working. I have many videos on my channel in which I have shown you the descent towards Islamabad International Airport. I think it's with the Saudi Airlines, and with Emirates, and with Etihad Airways. And most of the time during the landings there are clouds, and those videos are there. So this is just giving me the real feel of the landing when I'm about to land in Islamabad going back home. Now with this left turn, there is another deacceleration point coming. And you can see the plane is following the descent profile, so the descent is good. Soon I will be activating the approach phase, and just to see whether it works this time or not. Let's go out and see. This is, I think, the Soma River. It just also passes near my home in Islamabad. If I'm not wrong, this is the Soma River. Yes. Okay, and everything is good. I don't know why people are complaining so much about X-Plane 12 and why there is so much discussion going on the social media. I think just everybody is trying to contribute their opinion, but except for the sound that just got off during the flight, everything is good. And let's take the flaps down to 2 more notches, and let's reduce the speed. The speed should be 147, 140 knots. You can see the speed is now reducing. I have the ILS over here. Let's also enter it over here. (1007), and if I turn on the approach, you can see we are lower than the ILS, so it's good. If you double click during this simulator, then this thing happens. Your view is locked with the mouse. Double click and then you can just look around, and single click, it's off. Okay. Now this is the final descent point, and at this point I can lower the gears and flaps to full position. Can I activate the approach? You see, the moment I activate the approach, the plane just goes right. So this is one of the issues that I'm facing right now. And last night I was able to activate the L-nav again, but anyhow I can disengage the autopilot. I can just fly it on my own.
Bank angle.
Oops, it's too much bank. If I turn it on again, can I activate the LNAV? Okay, we can ignore this, and I can just start the descent. So landings have never been good for me, and especially with this problem occurring. Again, another terrible landing you're going to witness from my end. If I'm able to land this plane or not. But this was just to show you the features that are there in the X-Plane 12 and the graphic quality. Because yesterday when I was doing a flight, I was honestly speaking really impressed with the quality of the graphics in the X-Plane 12, and especially with the Zibo mod. It was really a delight to watch the graphics, especially in the night. So I think runway is nearby. I cannot see it because I deviated a lot from yes, I know I'm not following the glide slope. So this is one issue that's happening with the Zibo mod. So if you have purchased downloaded this plane, although it's a freeware, so do not activate the approach. Where is the runway? I cannot see it.
400.
It's there. Yeah, the runways are here. Anyhow, I can just call it a missed approach. And I can just continue with the flight. Thank you very much for staying with me, and you have seen that except for this issue, this is actually a major issue. If you turn on the approach, you cannot land the plane. I can go for a missed approach, and then I can if I try to autopilot.
500.
Can I?
400.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Yes, I can fly on the heading. Let me just adjust it.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Oh, the plane is almost about to stall. Auto throttle is active. It's a disaster in the flight. There is a big disaster in the flight. I can set it to 1000. Yeah, there is a stall warning. So now the speed is increasing. Okay. Now this warning is not there. So that's it. No, I didn't land the plane this time. But I just managed to perform a go around. I'll try to land it, but I'm not going to record it for you guys. So you can see the graphics are really good. The experience with the X-Plane 12 is really good, and especially with the Zibo mod, the experience is really good. And now I think if you can hear, the sound is also back. I think with this all warning systems coming up, the sound is back again. Thank you very much for staying with me. If you've got any questions, do ask me in the comment section. I will be doing more videos on X-Plane 12 for you guys, and I will be bringing to you on my channel. So do subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to it, and plus don't forget to press the bell icon, because still you'll get the updates as soon. Oops, what I'm doing? I had to do it. Okay. I was actually trying to retract the flaps. Okay, so if there is any delay from my side in answering your question or your queries, kindly accept my apologies in advance, as I've got a busy schedule, so that's why at times I'm not able to answer your questions on time. And for any feedback, the comment section is also there for you. And if you want to add anything from your side, if you've got to add your experience for the X-Plane 12 with me on my channel, the comment section is there for you. Hopefully you have liked this video, and if you have not purchased X-Plane 12, you will try to purchase it, and you will try to download the Zibo mod and try to do a flight with it. Thank you very much for staying with me. Have a nice day. Hope to see you soon.